Alrighty then. If you are watching the replay, go ahead and fast forward to 90 seconds. It is about the approximate moment that I will start the conversation. We already got people going. Let's rock and roll. Sub Zap, Dub, JSN. How's it going? Dan. Big handsome Zappy, you know you're the cuter one of the two of us. There's no doubt in my mind. What is up, Big Chief? Let's rock and roll. Oh yeah, I've got to make sure. I always forget about YouTube. You guys are my primary focus, but we do have fans on YouTube. And I occasionally forget to actually hit public, which means nobody's going to watch it. Which just makes no sense. Why stream if nobody's going to watch the show? If it's impossible to watch the show. So we're going to start up in about 30 seconds. Just get a couple of things. I want to get Josh Jackson stats up here. But boom, if I miss it live, I watch the next. Oh, dude, thank you so much. That is so great to hear. That's what I hope. That's why I always hope that happens. How does the YouTube stream look, by the way? Because on my end, it actually looks like it's a little fidgety, but I've also got it. I've got a built-in delay, so it should render smooth. But I honestly, I never go back and rewatch that replay. When I check these streams. So I'm just curious. Looks fine. Okay, cool. That's good to hear. That is good to hear. All right, I do need an extra 10. Welcome to Valley of the Suns Live, the weekly edition. My name is Adam Ains, your host, your site editor, your friend of the sun. This is our weekly catharsis. This is our weekly therapy session. So if you would all like to start out with a little go right ahead. We need that kind of thing on a 10-game losing streak. And I know that this is what the Tankers want. I mean, the Tankers want 10-game losing streaks. They want 15-game losing streaks. In fact, if I recall correctly, earlier this afternoon, John Camadoro actually referenced they might not win a game the rest of the season, which is entirely unlikely. But you never know. I mean, that would be... So how many games do they have left? 20? So that would mean a 30-game losing streak? That would be awful. I want DeAndre Ayton and Luka Doncic, but I don't want a 30-game losing streak. I'm not going to lie to you. That would be terrible. Speaking of standings, what's up, Chris? Let's go ahead and just start. We would have to fold, exactly. Please like, please heart, please retweet, text everyone and go, yo, we're going a full hour here. I might even do a couple minutes of overtime. I usually do. Went tomorrow versus Memphis. Well, okay, so that's the thing. Excuse me. It's not like Memphis is very good. They are 18-41. The Suns are obviously 18-44. What's up, brother? But here's the crazy thing, is that and I'm sure you guys have heard this, I actually hit this pretty hard right before with coding. I'm not really sure I'm any good at coding. I'm at one point in my life I will code and then I'll never wake up, but that's just a bad pun. But where's my drummer? Oh wait, I am the drummer. But so if the Suns lose tomorrow, or Wednesday, tomorrow, yeah, if the Suns lose tomorrow, then they will have lost every single game in the month of February, which is a first. They have never lost outside of last year. They played 4 games in October. They went 0-4. It's the most losses they've ever had in a winless month in their franchise's history. I believe prior to that they had gone 0-2, I think twice, if I'm correct. So to go 0-11, I believe, yeah, it's to go 0-11 for the month would be the worst in franchise history. Whose 10-game L streak will be broken? Whose 10-game L streak will be broken? The Suns? Oops, I forgot YouTube. The Suns' 10-game streak will be broken tomorrow? Is that what you're saying? So, I don't know. I actually don't have... Excuse me, all of a sudden, I feel like I'm breathing some air. Oh! I had not paid attention to Memphis. Oh, look at that. 10-game losing streak. Wow. That's a fun... I had not paid attention to their... Yeah, AD did. Man, I want him. I did not pay attention to their record. 10-game losing streak. So they probably haven't won this month either. I mean, they could have also obviously played like an extra game. Tankathon, yeah, I check out Tankathon all the time. I just totally spaced and did not see that. I totally missed that. But yeah, 10-game losing streaks. A couple of them. I wonder, is it possible Tankathon tweeted? And if not, I might ask a couple people. Is it possible? When was the last time that two teams with double-digit losing streaks faced each other? I'm sure, my goodness, I'm sure it's happened in recent years. I feel like actually at some point it happened with Philadelphia. I wonder, though, I'm really curious. When was the last time two teams with double-digit losing streaks faced each other? That's a fascinating. I wonder if I can just Google it real quick while you guys are. So yeah, real quick, I'll flip over to AD for a moment. He totally dominated the Suns. Let me get on for. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, if you can. I'll see if. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll talk AD. Yeah, AD dominated, but the thing is that Devin Booker dominated. It's just that the New Orleans Pelicans have better players. They have better depth. They have a better system than the Suns, and obviously, I would expect in 5 years, presuming that the Pelicans don't, land Kawhi Leonard. Since he could potentially be available, which I still highly, highly doubt. But for the sake of argument, they don't add another superstar. I would expect that the Suns' young core will develop better than New Orleans Pelicans' young core, and that the Suns will be a conference contender. He is really coming along nicely. That I can imagine the Suns being a conference contender before, and in New Orleans never becoming a conference contender. Play better defense than AD. Yeah, well, I have a feeling at that point AD was just kind of like, yeah, whatever, I'm over it. But think about this. In his last, let's go back. We're talking Josh Jackson here. Sup, man? There, dude. It's just like this close. In Josh Jackson's last 15 games, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 20-point games. That is fantastic. He's averaging 16.5 points, 6.3 boards. His steals and blocks, boy, yo, what's up, Mr. Rich? How's lunch? You'd kind of hope that for a guy that's billed as a great two-way player, or was billed as a great two-way player coming out of college, that his steals and blocks would be a little bit better. He's only averaging 0.7 steals, 0.8 blocks. But still, 16.5 points. And that's what's also so crazy is that it's because in those last 15 games, again, he has 8 20-point games. In fact, he had a stretch of 4 in a row with 20 points, as you recall, against Memphis, Dallas, Utah, and Charlotte. And that was at the end of January, early February. But he also has, a 2-point clunker against Houston. It was off the bench, but an 8-point start against the Warriors. So, he just falls against great teams. And then 5 points against Portland. So, the good teams he has trouble with. So, you know what, though? He is really looking good. And I love yesterday's double-double, 20 and 12. He had a double-double against the Lakers, 16 and 10. He has a double-double against OKC, 17 and 10. So he's got 3 double-doubles. I was like, I'll take that. Let's see what's coming. And when he gets coached. Yeah, well, okay, and that's true. But my point, though, is that at least on steals, he has some incredibly dramatic blocks. Those are a lot of fun. Those chase down blocks that he and Booker make, those are just fantastically fun to watch. But he should still be getting some steals. Truthfully, let me see. Has he had a 3-steal game? He has had 1, 2, 3 3-steal games the entire season. He had 4 steals against the Clippers in Game 3. Then he had 3 steals against the Lakers November 17th, and then 3 against Detroit on November 29th, right after Thanksgiving. That's it. So he hasn't actually had a 3-steal game this calendar year. He goes so many games without steals. In fact, between San Antonio on January 5th and OKC on January 7th and Indiana on January 24th, he went 3, 4, 5 games without a steal. Staying in front without fouling. Okay, you know what? So I went back 16 games. Let me just see what his average personal fouls are. He averages only 3 personal fouls in those last 15 games as well. Yesterday he had 3. He fouls out against the Clippers, 5 against the Lakers. We're talking just last 15 games, and then 5 against Indiana. So yeah, it obviously has a lot of swipe personal fouls, and he's looking for steals. He's giving it the old college try, and I use that phrase intentionally because he should still be in college, but thank God he's not, because I'd rather be playing for the Suns, selfishly. As a teacher myself, he needs an education. Come on. He needs an education. But as a Suns fan, I'm glad he's here. So yeah, I mean, he's got, oh, gosh, but can you play? He also has a negative 47 game against San Antonio, and then a negative 43 game against Golden State. I mean, just now, granted, a bunch of players do, but negative 47, negative 43. Holy crap! I'll bet his plus minus is just. I'm telling you. Oh man, I got him all right here. I'll bet his plus minus is just. I wonder if it calculates that. Plus minus, he averages negative 7.5. So in his last 15 games, he's averaging a negative 7.5 plus minus. On the season, he is averaging a negative 6.4. So I mean, on average, when he's on the court, the Suns lose by 6.4 points. I mean, it's the Suns. I mean, yeah, you would imagine if you were on Boston, the Suns had I can picture his face. Why am I drawing a blank? Like Jason Tatum. If they were switched, Jason Tatum would have a negative 6.4, and Josh Jackson would probably have a positive, whatever Jason Tatum's is. So I mean, it obviously has to do with who's on his team, or excuse me, what team he's on. Now, so go ahead. We're about 12 minutes in. Please go ahead and. Actually, we're exactly 10 minutes in right now. So please go ahead and heart, please like, please retweet, text everybody, let them know. Yo, Valley of the Sun's live. We're going till at least 7 o'clock. I might shoot for a double OT. I know that Mr. Rich out there in Sydney, Australia, I would try to throw out an accent, but I just absolutely can't. He loves the double OTs because he can actually catch a little bit of this live. So last night, though, I mean, D-Book, you don't have to literally raise your hand, but raise your hand if at halftime you thought Devin Booker was going to get a triple-double. I mean, it seemed like that wasn't going to be that hard. And if I recall correctly, he had 6 assists in the first half. There we go, Mr. Rich is here. Sick. If I recall correctly, he had 7 boards and 6 assists in the first half. And then he ends the second half with 3 boards and 1 assist. So, yeah. Oh, Melbourne, not Sydney. I apologize. I wonder, do you guys have like a rivalry? If I said Sydney, you're like, what the hell, those, Southsiders or Northsiders or Westsiders? Yeah, okay. So I'm seeing a whole bunch of hands raised. I appreciate it. I love this. I love this. I mean, I thought for sure he was going to get it. So I'm going to end with 7 assists. I mean, for starters, I mean, he sat a lot of the late third and early fourth. I do apologize. I have a feeling it's like in the U.S., it's a lot like the Cubbies and the White Sox. It's just like, wait a second. Don't you? Yeah, what's up, Iowa? So, I mean, it's just whatever. I mean, he didn't get the triple-double. They also got the loss. So, honestly, at this point, I know a lot of Suns fans are rooting for the selfish stats like Josh Jackson, like Dragon Bender, who had a nice game until he fouled out. And then, obviously, like Devin Booker. Me personally, I'm hoping for a lot out of. See, I knew it. There aren't many White Sox fans. I know that. Although my grandfather is. My 89-year-old grandfather. He's a White Sox fan. He loves to tell me. He's told me my whole life. He grew up on the south side of Chicago. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, 8-8. You're shooting for the first pick, but you want a bunch of selfish stats, and I don't disagree. But I mean, think about this. Dragon Bender yesterday, 9 points, all on threes, 3 of 6 from 3, 0 of 2 from the field. He had that, and I tweeted about this, so if you guys saw that. He had that one drive where he actually got the inside position. I was on the left side of the 3-point line. He drives in towards the lane. If he had just powered it in, I believe, and I could be wrong because I'm not him and I wasn't in that moment, he might have actually even been a step far out, but he also probably could have got a foul on AD. But, I mean, I believe if he had just powered it in, he would have got a dunk on AD because he got the inside track, but instead he dumps it off. I believe he's trying to dump it off to Josh Jackson, who loses out of bounds because Josh Jackson wasn't expecting it, just like Marquise Chris wasn't expecting that pass that he, bricked a 3 on when Bender had a wide open dunk. I mean, I know. How's it going to happen? Oh, you get the first overall pick, and then you just hope whoever has the second overall pick doesn't need him, and then you just throw the bank at him. And I mean, I tweeted that out earlier. Although it was a response, so I don't know if everybody can see it. I would, if you get Milwaukee's first-round pick, and if Miami's pick is decent, you package those two together. I would package next year's Suns first-round pick. I really would. And then say, all right, you can take Chris, you can take Bender, that kind of thing. I would hope they would give up Chris because, again, I just have so much faith in Bender's game. I love. All right, brother, CNOT. If the Suns got the first overall pick, who do you think they take? I think they take DeAndre Ayton. I think DeAndre Ayton is like Tim Duncan was like Hakeem Olajuwon was the first overall pick. David Robinson, I mean, it's like you just go big. And the guy's just so freakishly athletic. He's not a prodding center. He's not, I mean, he's just too athletic. Better position is so confusing me. What are they going to do with him? Well, they're trying to trade him to become a stretch point four. Is really what it seems like they're trying to do. And I think he's got the skill set to do it. He just doesn't have that killer instinct yet. And I do think that is something that's going to develop, and I think he just needs to develop confidence. And truthfully, I'm looking forward to the summer. I'm looking forward to him gaining strength, gaining muscle mass, getting that growth where he knows, okay, I can dunk on him, so I will. Can we trade the rights to Milwaukee's pick, even if it doesn't transfer? Yes, it would just be the same. It would be the same blocks and stuff. I mean, it's not. It's the Suns to do with what they want. They should go after Gello. I don't know who Gello is with the first overall pick. I'm looking forward to Aaron Gordon. That would be cool. Elite role player for Benner. And elite. Exactly. I think he can be an elite role player. He just, and precisely said Juan, he doesn't have the confidence. And you know what? And I wrote about this when I said yesterday, or today, yeah, it was yesterday, that the Suns are not tough enough, which I referenced. I'm afraid of showing you guys my belly button, but I referenced, if you guys recall, I believe it was the Gazette. That was the Phoenix Gazette published the Tough Enough book for the 1992-93 recap. That was the 25th anniversary recap book, and it was just called Tough Enough. Who do you like in point guard of this year's draft? Luka Doncic. I don't know much about many else. I don't like Colin Sexton only because he's too much like Eric Bledsoe. I would rather keep Peyton because I just like what Peyton brings in terms of his passing. And then you give him no ball bros, please. Oh yeah, no. I see what you're saying. Got it. I totally missed that reference. Good one. Now I'm seeing it. I totally get it. But the Suns, they were the Western Conference kind of soft team. They can't get out of the conference finals. They lose twice to the Lakers. Then they lose in '92. They lose in the second round to the Portland Trailblazers, who of course make it to the finals. And it was the idea that the Phoenix Suns were just not tough enough. And Lionel Hollins utters walking off the court in that Game 6 double overtime loss, which you haven't watched. It's on YouTube. I mean, it's a heartbreaking game. And it's a heartbreaking ending, but it's a great game, and it's 26 years old at this point. So I mean, I think we should all be able to get over it, especially those of us, like, I didn't even watch it. I didn't start watching basketball until November of '92, so I absolutely missed that series. But or December of '92. But I said the Suns aren't tough enough, which they're not, and then to go add some kind of grit, some kind of grind. Well, that can come naturally as these guys mature, and they realize that when they look across the court to the other team, and it just seems like they've kind of got this deer in the headlights look to them. I'll expand on my idea on that. I feel like the young Suns have that kind of deer in the headlights kind of look to them, in that they're looking across the court and going, oh my gosh, that's an NBA player. And it's like, dude, so are you. Just go. They what got you to start watching the Suns? Okay, I'll answer that question here in a second too. They just don't feel like at this point that they're worthy or they're equivalent, and it's just like, well, you're there, so you might as well just kind of go force your will on them. Your opponent is forcing their will on you, so go force your will on them. And I do see a lot of that from Josh Jackson. I do not at all seen. I've seen clips, but I've never watched a game. I do not at all see that from Dragan Bender yet. He does not force his will on anybody. He's the most passive player this team has. Which, again, I mean, he's 20, so it's just like, I would hope that by 23 he'd be great. It's just a matter of, you got to have that patience and hope that he does develop that. But then beyond that, what Marquise Chris, I don't see him forcing his will in a physical sense. I see him trying to force his will in a verbal sense, which is just entirely counterproductive. When you're getting technical fouls, it's just like, what the hell? It doesn't help anybody except for the opponent. So Josh Jackson's the only one who I actually, now here's somebody I have seen play. I remember Clyde Drexler, and I love Eddie Johnson's comparison of, I know, bro. I believe me. It sucks, but that's the league we live in. I love Eddie Johnson's comp to Clyde Drexler. And honestly, I think it might be spot on offensively. I don't know defensively, Although, again, there's also the oops, I'll pull it up right here. There's also the chance that, you know, Josh Jackson does end up becoming the defensive guy that, you know, we all wanted him to be. But I mean, Clyde Drexler, his rookie year, averaged 7.7 points. What is Josh Jackson averaging right now? He's averaging 11.4. 11.4. Is there a comp? I don't know. Well, it's the finger roll, it's the shot, it's also the lankiness and the confidence. I mean, Clyde 6'7", 210. And that's probably like his adult, or not his adult, but it's kind of like his full, mature body. Josh Jackson 6'8", 207. So I would bet that Josh Jackson, if he's done growing at 6'8", and remember, if I recall correctly, in the summer or at the draft or whatever it was, he was 6'7". Oh, his spin move is deadly. I mean, Josh Jackson really, truly could become the absolute steal. But if I recall correctly, they said that Josh Jackson was 6'7" coming out of college, but then all of a sudden, at the summer league and the preseason, like, oh, he's 6'8". And it also appeared that, and we wrote about that, we talked about that, but his afro grew some. So, I mean, regardless, they're about the same size, they're about the same build, they're having similar starts to their careers. Clyde Drexler, granted, this is 83, 84, so we're talking 35 years ago, but 34, 35 years ago. So it is definitely hard to compare directly. But Clyde also did not become the Portland Trailblazers' regular starter until his fourth season in the league. He averaged 7.7 points his rookie year, 17.2, 18.5 in his second, third years. And then his fourth year, we actually started every game. He averaged 21.7, and then by his fifth year, he was averaging 27 points per game. It's funny every time Josh plays against the Blazers, he doesn't play very good. I'll bet Clyde Drexler talks trash. We need to start Jackson next season and let him leave. I will come back to that right now. But please, we are about 20 minutes in. Please heart, please like, please retweet, please share. Text your boys. Hey, Valley Suns, we got another 40 minutes plus OT. So why does TJ start with Josh Jackson? It's a fantastic point. And it's because the Suns want to lose. Honestly, it's because the Suns want to lose. They want to ease Josh Jackson in, and they want to lose. I think that TJ Warren is a tremendous scoring talent, and he struggles against starters when he's the only option. When Booker is out, Josh Jackson can be shut down. But place him against role players, and TJ Warren will play as a starter, and he makes that bench unit better. And so if the Josh Jackson starting unit can keep the team in the game, and you put TJ Warren against the other team's second stringer, TJ Warren's going to cause a lot of trouble. Which is exactly why I do not want TJ Warren to be traded. I want TJ Warren to be a sixth man. I want him to be their number 4 scorer. You make TJ Warren, not only just make him the fourth scorer, but if he truly was in the offensive scheme and talent, the team's fourth scorer, this team is winning 55 games because they're just going to outscore you. Because you're going to have a guy like TJ Warren he's averaging 20 and 7, which is right on where I personally projected he would be this season. Let me just double check and make sure I've got the exact number for it. Because we can pull up stats just up to the second, baby. So TJ Warren this year, 19.5 and 5.1. Okay, so I'm off by actually 2 rebounds. I thought it would get up to 7, but I'm telling you. So, and I truly believe that. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, right now, Devin Booker is your number 1. Josh Jackson develops next season into your number 2. You add DeAndre Ayton, who will be a number 3 scorer. Boom. You put TJ Warren on the bench. You've got 4 starters, and you've got your James Harden coming off the bench. And then, now that TJ Warren, because TJ Warren is under contract long term, he's signed through 21-22 at a very reasonable price. This season, that contract doesn't even kick in until next year. This season is still only on his rookie contract, making 3.1. He's gonna be a hell of a player off the bench, and this team will be good. And so now just imagine this. Imagine this scenario. Let's, for the sake of argument, it plays out. Booker 1, Jackson 2, and then they're able to draft Ayton and sign Aaron Gordon, and then put TJ Warren on the bench. They are winning 55 games next year. He would have 2 more rebounds if we were. Yeah, well, that's true. And I do think he can be a 7-rebound guy. I mean, I've compared him to Cedric Sabonis since day one. Okay, so thinking back, would be a great group, no doubt. It would be. They would be a very talented team. They would rival in terms of where they would stand in the, or where they would place in the standings. Next year, I believe that lineup, if healthy and presuming the rest of the roster is developed, I mean, just imagine if it's Elfrid Payton. I'm okay with that. You get a better backup point guard because they just don't have one. Obviously, my hope is that you have Dragon Bender, you keep Bender, you move Chris because Chris would be completely irrelevant with Aaron Gordon on the roster. And when Bender continues development, it's like I'm telling you, you've got Knight. That's the other thing. Actually, real quick, I was going to poll question this just while you guys are here. Just go ahead and send or say a yes or no. Do you want Brandon Knight, regardless of who they draft? Do you want Brandon Knight on this roster next season to see how he can be, or would you rather just move him and move on, right away? All right, we got a yes. We got a yes. And I got to tell you right now, my answer is yes. Okay, so you're saying no. So we got a couple no's. Just move on. So okay, so it's 4-2 including myself, 5-2 including myself. All right, I'm wondering 6, no trade value, no choice. Okay, 7, 8. Let's see what he does without Watson. Yep, 9. Okay, so 9 and 2, so we don't waste his value. Agreed. Yes, he does have potential. I agree. Yes to what? Yes is you want him on the roster next year. I would rather him be a bust on this roster than go somewhere else and actually be a legitimate guy. I mean, he's already here. They're already paying him. I would hope that they've already budgeted for him. Okay, so yeses were overwhelming. I'm going to tweet that out after the show. Please vote and please retweet that. Would like to use the money. Okay, I love that. We're talking about Brandon Knight. Would you like Brandon Knight on the roster next year, regardless of what other moves they make? Now, I mean, if you go and you get, insert good point guard here, and you need to move him, okay, I'll get that. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, Elfrid Payton is on the roster, and they draft Luka Doncic, just for the sake of argument. So, I mean, if they can... Oh, you're saying get his trade value up. Regardless of who they draft, I'd like to see Brandon Knight back. I really think that he would want to vindicate himself, too. 2 years is when we need the cap space to make a move. Anyway, well, they can have the cap space to make the big move this coming offseason. They should be able to make a run at both Clint Capella. Well, I would assume they wouldn't go after both, but Clint Capella or Aaron Gordon. If you get Doncic, do you re-sign Elfrid or play Knight? Yes. Oh, yeah, because there's always the possibility that Doncic is a bust. I mean, he is an unknown commodity, at least to most fans. So, real quick. So, somebody asked earlier, how did I get, Follow the Suns? In the late 80s and early 90s, we definitely need Ayton. And I pray. I don't pray for basketball. I'd will a moment. I'll be like, please. And if I'm crossing my hands, I kind of just imagine I am actually going, God, come on, help me out. But for the most part, I don't pray for basketball. I am praying for DeAndre Ayton. He's a solid big man like DeAndre Jordan, Capella, perfect fit. Is Doncic more like a wing? He could be a 2. We need defense. What are we going to do at center besides drafting one? No Chandler, no Len next year. Well, there's no guarantee that Chandler is gone. I don't think he's back. There's no guarantee that Chandler's gone. Len is definitely gone because they won't be able to afford him. Even if he's only making $5-7 million, it's just like, you all know I've been a Len apologist, if you will. I prefer to just say fan, not necessarily apologist, but I mean, he's just, gosh. If we keep him half a year, we can at least get a low trade value for Knight. Yeah, so long as he keeps his mouth shut, which I think he will. I think Knight wants to be vindicated. I think Knight knows he's been beat up. I think he knows that this was his year to just prove, okay, I can be a legit guy, and he didn't get that opportunity. And I think next year he's like, all right, I don't care if I'm in Phoenix, I just want to go work. And hey, I get to play with Devin Booker, and potentially Doncic or Ayton or somebody else. So, do we let Len? Yeah, you let Len walk. Well, because you're not going to resign Bagley. Yeah, you let Len walk because, I think Chandler's gone because I think he's good trade bait. Len, Bender, and Knight out for DJ. See, I don't want DeAndre Jordan. I said earlier in the year that I would. I don't want him to be your top 3 favorite players in this draft. Well, I'll just say in the order that I want. Will Knight be happy back in the fight? I think he'll be forced to be happy. So my top 3, it's definitely Ayton number 1. It's definitely Doncic number 2. And then it's probably Bagley number 3, just because he's got the offense. Who should they go after in free agency? I would love Aaron Gordon. We need some vets on this team. Agreed. But my problem with DeAndre Jordan, and I'm pulling up his... I would go after Clint Capella, too, because of his defense, but I would love Aaron Gordon's offense. I would love his offense. But he's making... It's a player option for next year at $24 million. I mean, if they re-sign him, he's going to be making... Aaron Gordon. He's going to be making close to 30. I mean, so it's just like Jordan's contract is going to be huge. And while, you know, I'm 34 and feel like I could play in the NBA, he's 29, and yet, you know, yeah, exactly. He just doesn't fit the timeline. So would it be fantastic? I mean, he's averaging 15 effing rebounds this year and still not leading the league. I'm assuming that's Andre Drummond. But, you know, what about Tyreek? I'm on the Tyreek Evans bandwagon, 100%. Should we have done Kyrie for Bledsoe? No. Nope. And I'm glad they didn't. Vets and solid mid-career guys, no more prospects. Agreed. Is it me or does Bagley have short arms? I haven't noticed that, but I will definitely look for the T-Rex arms. If not, is unhappy with backup, he can play his way to the starting lineup. Either way, yeah. Oh, no, agreed. I mean, and there's also no guarantee because of Alfred Payton was back. They only traded a second-round pick, and it wasn't even their own. Do you think Book plays better in the dimly lit arenas? Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I really don't want to say that it's the arena, but, you know, because usually people say, yeah, I mean, JJ might be Clyde Drexler. I think the Matrix might be his minimum floor. I think Clyde Drexler could be his ceiling. But, you know, usually people say under the lights, you know, guys shine under the lights. I don't know. Maybe there is just something to, you know, it's just, there's also the thought that he thrives under pressure. And when you're on the road, there is a sense of pressure. When you're at home, there's less pressure just because you've got the fans backing you. Even when it's empty, well, see, I've always liked the kind of stadium lighting like the Lakers have, but you know, like when you're on the road and you got people jeering you and booing at you and yada yada yada. I mean, it's just like I think there's. I mean, I'm a big fan of anxiety. I love a good intense anxiety. I love the moment of pressure. I truly work harder. I concentrate better when I'm under pressure because when I'm free, I tend to slack off. So I'm not trying to compare myself in skill or talent to Devin Booker, but at least on an emotional level, I sincerely do. If that's what it is, I could see that. Giannis, the Greek Freak, just made a 3. Why do you say it like that? I'm obviously not watching, so I'm not really sure. We're about 30 minutes in, though, so please heart, please like, please retweet, please share. Text your friends real quick and go, yo, we got at least half an hour left, plus probably a double overtime. I might be in the mood to give you double overtime. I'm always in the mood for double OT. So, yeah, so I mean, DeAndre Jordan I want to go after. I mean, again, Aaron Gordon, you know, he's the guy that I really want. I'd be okay with Clint Capella, but again, my Clint Capella issue is just, and granted, he's still young enough, but two things. I got 2 issues. First off, he's a little too defensive and not offensive. 14, 5, and 11 this year. Only, you know, not only, but 1.8 blocks. I mean, that'd be good. Triple OT. Well, I still got a 4-year-old here that's like begging to play with me. And I have to oblige. But there's also the other factor, and that is Devin Booker is definitely the future. And that is with Capella is that so many players, they have prime stats under Mike D'Antoni. And I saw this about a month ago, and Clint Capella was on this. Like, he's just statistically across the line, his best years have been under Mike D'Antoni. And it's not just the Steve Nash effect or the James Harden effect, because a lot of guys had great years under D'Antoni with New York and LA. Certainly spent more time in NY, but in LA, well, what was it there for 2 years? I mean, a bunch of dudes just had some great seasons. So, D'Antoni, there we go. We need coaches. Oh, what did I touch? I touched something. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Eddie Johnson for head coach. I think Eddie Johnson should be an assistant coach, but the thing is I would miss him too much on the broadcast. I love listening to him. Yeah, so he was there for just under 2 years. He was there for just under 2 years. Mike D'Antoni in LA. So, I don't know, a bunch of guys. Go after Boogie? No, we got best medical staff. I mean, he's gonna cost a lot, man. It's just gonna cost so much So I don't know. I just don't know about that booking. Yeah, and I don't think he's going to go anywhere. Plus, again, I said this last year or last week in regards to him. It's like, okay, you're going to pay him. Had a great year under him. Oh, let me see what his stats were. You're going to pay Boogie Cousins a lot of money to miss at least half the year. So, do you really want to waste that money? I mean, it's like next year. We don't need Clint for offensive, no, but I'd rather get a guy that can do both. I think the only way that we get Clint Capella is to sign a trade, possibly. And then who are you going to trade? So Kendall Marshall's, it's his rookie year. He averaged 3 points and 3 assists. And he hasn't played. Was Mike D'Antoni in LA that year? 13-14. Oh, it was. Okay, so let's see. His best year. Yeah, you're right. 8 points and 8.8 assists under. Yeah, you're right. 54 games, 45 starts. Imagine if we didn't draft Booker. What would we be talking about? Oh, my gosh. I don't want Avery Bradley. I don't want Avery Bradley. He's not enough of both. He's too much of one, not enough of both. I want Tyreke Evans, who, by the way, is statistically a better defensive guard. I broke that down. You can go check Valley of the Suns. I broke this down a few weeks ago. I went through if we would be talking baseball. This would be a baseball blog. Go D-backs. But I broke it down statistically. Most stats lean more heavily in we would be talking about JJ. Been disappointing Detroit. Well, now with the Clippers. Yeah. No, I'm telling you. Give me Tyreke Evans. A better scorer and a better, more consistent defensive player. I feel like I was just going to look somebody up. I looked up Kendall Marshall. I thought I was looking somebody else up. No, I don't remember. Somebody might have to remind me. Anyway. What about... Oh, that's what I was going to look up, was the Devin Booker year. What about you give up for Anthony Davis? Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you, if the Suns aren't giving up Devin Booker for Anthony Davis, which, I mean, truly would be Anthony Davis is better. Truly, it would be a lopsided trade for the Suns. Sean Miller. They would have to give up Josh Jackson plus. I mean, truthfully, since they're not desperate to dump him, and I don't think that he necessarily wants out, at least not right now, you would have to trade JJ. You would have to trade the first-round pick. You'd have to trade your first-round pick this year. I mean, it's like he is so good. Now, would I trade potentially DeAndre Ayton, for Unibrow? The answer is yes, I would, especially if it was a 1-for-1. Now, if they needed, say, Chris and one of the other 2 first-round picks, yeah, I would still do that too. I just feel like, let's just say it's DeAndre Jordan and JJC, just like that. I just wonder if that's just too much, because then who is your third option? Is it still TJ Warren? You now don't have as much cap space, if any at all, to sign another star this year. He did. Well, but and then how much better are the Suns at that point? So would I love Unibrow? 1,000%. JJ's untouchable is going to be stud. And that's the thing. Granted, we're projecting, but it looks like he's going to be a stud. I really don't think that the Clyde Drexler, that the Eddie Johnson, Clyde Drexler comps are that. It's not crazy. That is not a crazy comp. So TJ Warren is good to be fourth option. I want to be a 4th option off the bench, and that team is winning 55 games. What about sign a trade for Dark? Because now you're losing assets in a year that you really should be going to win. You're losing assets for a guy that's A, going to be out for at least half the season, and B, you never know if he's going to be great again. Yes, Peyton needs to cut his hair. So had Cousins been healthy and we never had a Achilles tear to talk about, then yeah, I'd be interested in. I mean, I was absolutely interested in throwing the bank for him already. So in terms of his unrestricted free agency, I do not want Enes Kanter. Cousins equals cancer. Yeah, well, that's the thing. He's obviously got some issues, but he seems to be working out just fine in New Orleans. So I don't really know. I mean, Sacramento just sucks. Who A wants to live there? Who B wants to play for the Kings? I mean, it's just like he was sick of it. Remember, think about this, and statistically, they're very much similar. Charles Barkley was a cancer in Philadelphia. And then he comes to Phoenix, and he was a cancer again, but in his 4th year. But he made it to the finals at least. One more star, so it's competitive with another star playoff time. Don't you think Debo, Kent Davis, Anthony would be enough? Can you sign Aaron Gordon, who's also going to potentially be making $24 million? Plus, you've got Devin Booker's contract. So now you've got all that money locked up. Who is your fourth star? Could be T.J. Warren. But if you're trading Ayton and Jackson, you're getting a massive contract in return. Try and sign Clay in 2019? Possibly, but where's he going to play? Do you move Devin Booker to the 3? And if so, because you're presuming by 2019 you're going to have a point guard. So if you're moving Booker to the 3, then where's Josh Jackson? Is he playing power? That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Doubt Magic let him go without some kind of asset. Well, I mean, yes and no, but you could trade. I would trade Marquise Chris for him. Said he wants to be coach next year. Do we grant him a wish? I am okay with Jake coming back. If we sign Gordon, do we trade Chris or Bender? I said, well, you absolutely trade one. I think you trade Chris. He is a free agent, but he's restricted. So they can obviously match. So they could threaten, just be like, all right, we'll let him go for a sign of trade. Or Gordon might say that he wants a 5-year max instead of just a 4. Also, that lineup isn't winning the West. Yeah, it's just winning the West. No, they're not winning the West, but you're building for 2 to 3 years from now when Golden State actually does start to slide a little bit. Get Mark Jackson. Nope. And you know what? I apologize. My allergies are beginning to get the best of me. Hold on a second. Sorry, I do apologize. This is the worst allergy season I've had in my life. All right, David Fizdale. No, I don't want him. He's overrated. What has he ever done? I mean, ever since I love him, and no offense if you do, I just don't see. Give me Jay Triano. What if anybody ever wants Chris? I mean, seriously, possibly not. Yeah, Chris Chandler plus Milwaukee pick to sign. Do that. That would be okay. I think that'd be a great trade. Gotta wait out Golden State. You do, which could be 3 years. And the thing about it, so here's the thing. So the Suns in the late '80s had to wait out the Lakers, and they did. And then they got Barkley, and boom, they were a finals team. And it had not been for Hakeem, he was there, and so obviously they lost. But had it not been for Hakeem, that's they win. So the Lakers the Warriors aren't as old as the Lakers were at this kind of comp period of time, but they are aging. We need to get playoff experience next couple of years when Golden State declines, and a couple of those some of that playoff experience could be sweeps in the conference finals to them, as the same way that they had against the Lakers. Barkley days were golden in Phoenix. Yes, they were. We need a player development coach. Jay Triano's developing players. I mean, that's the thing. I actually think he'd be perfect. We don't need a trade for Gordon. He's a free agent this summer. No, you might have to sign a trade because Orlando could threaten to match the contract to keep him because he's just a restricted free agent. Do you know if the Suns are going into the next season with the same? I don't know that, but they could. You like Sauce at the bench next year? I do, but it's going to be expensive, so I doubt he's back. I don't think we can get an RFA without a sign of trade unless they're close to the salary cap. Well, you can if they don't match. Don't want to wait if we can't capitalize after. I want to capitalize now. I think now is the time. Now is the time. Especially, let's just say for the sake of argument, you can get Aaron Gordon and Josh Jackson does improve at a Clyde Drexler type pace. Remember, Clyde Drexler, 7.7 points rookie year, then 17.2, 18.5, 21.7, and year 5 at age 25 is 27.0. Give it to me, baby. Hard to find a coach who can develop you and compete now. That's true, but if you add a guy like Aaron Gordon, who has developed, you get rid of Marquise Chris, that team immediately is improved. You think Sauce Gone won a lot of money? It's not that he wants a lot of money, it's just that his contract is unguaranteed. And let me see if I can pull it up real quick. And oops, I just entered the wrong name. Ay caramba, I'm trying to type fast and I'm making some mistakes. His contract is non-guaranteed. Yeah, is it 7? I was going to say, I thought it was 8 million. But I think you're right. And so that's 7 million for a guy who didn't play the season. And if he does play, it's going to be very little. All right, so Alan Williams, his contract next year is okay. Well, it's 5.5, so it's actually less than I thought it was, but still, it's 5.5 million that could be spent to help bring in Aaron Gordon. This year was his year to play, honestly, and it's terribly, at least to play for the Suns, and it's just terribly unfortunate. Brandon Ice Fish for the Suns, I want him back. Tyler Ulis, gone. Thought it was 5 million. Yeah, it's 5.52 according to Basketball Reference. Trade who? Trade who? Alan Williams? No, you waive him because his contract is unguaranteed. After you guarantee next season, you could trade him. But trade Ulis. Yeah. How does this contract work? I gotta. I think they maybe can just waive him because he's on a rookie contract still. Yeah, let's go. Agreed. Free agent for what? Shoot. Okay, free agent. Joel, what do you mean by free agent? CD, what do you mean for what? If you are talking to me, if you guys are talking amongst yourselves, that's totally understandable. We're 45 minutes in. Please heart, please like, please retweet, please share. Text everything. We got at least 15 minutes left in the show, and I promise at least one overtime. I really like Alan Williams. Can we try the jam if he screws the summer up? No. I mean, you can, but you can also just fire him. Keep Tyler Ulis to keep Devin Booker happy, but he sucks. 2 years at $1 million options. Okay, so they are options. Are they options? No, next year is not an option year. It looks like it's guaranteed. This option year is his 4th year in 2019-20. What could you get for Ulis? A 2nd-round pick at best. I think the AW Energy. I mean, so then what do you need that for? Just waive him. I think AW Energy is great. Coming off the bench. DeAndre Ayton or Marvin Bagley. Ayton, 110% give me Ayton over Bagley. He plays center. Yes, I love his... Okay, don't get me wrong. I don't want Alan Williams to go, but I'm looking at, the fact that he's more of a local novelty player than he is a true kind of piece of the future. And, that's just based off of last year. He could have totally convinced me otherwise this year if he had been able to play, which I hate so much that he got hurt. But he's still more of just kind of a novelty local act. And so if you can save that $5 million, tell me, who do you want? Aaron Gordon or Alan Williams? Who do you want? Clint Capella or Alan Williams? And if you need that money on the cap to be able to sign one of those guys, you just say, bye, Alan, we loved you. I hope you find another home. And I think you would. He'd be a deep bench guy that teams could go after. But Len, Ulis, Chris, Dudley all need to go. Okay, fine. Len is gone. Ulis is probably gone, but he's only making 1.5 next year anyway. So, I mean, it's helpful, but it's not a lot. Chris is... I hope Chris is gone too, but you got to find a trade partner. Jared Dudley, you got to find a trade partner. I mean... Remember, they tried trading Jared Dudley to New Orleans, and for 2 second-round picks, they rejected it. Ayton, Heat's pick, and our pick next year, number 1 protected, and Chris and Len for Cat. They wouldn't take it. Plus, you can't trade Len because he's an unrestricted free agent. Bender still needs to realize his height. Agreed, 100%. With that pick of rollback game, that's all Ayton. Yeah, I want Ayton. Can sign Allen back as long as they sign Gordon or whoever first. Nerlens Noel, no. Alex Len is statistically better. Nerlens Noel is just a name. He's not a talent. If you need that 5, then you cut ties, but we have Chandler and Dudley. They got to go. Yeah, but okay. They need to go, and I think at least one of them goes. But most likely, you'll have to trade assets to move them. And I shouldn't say most likely, but it's very possible. And so if all you can get, if all you can do on a Chandler trade is trade a future first or something, I'd rather keep him and figure out something else. And waiving Alan Williams does that. How many? And you're praying for 3? All right, let me see real quick. Phoenix. Oh, oops. I got to do it this way. Because I know maybe you guys can pull it up faster than I am, but I got it up right now. I know that Memphis is tomorrow. Noel is just a name. He is. It's just a name. It's not a talent. Alex Len is better. Trade Chris, the Miami pick, to move up in the draft. I would 100% do that. I would 100% do that. And I want Luka Doncic. If I could get DeAndre at number 1 and then trade to number 2. Okay, so Memphis, OKC, and Atlanta. Okay, so Memphis and Atlanta, I mean, those are definitely winnable, but they are on the road. So, and you've lost to both. You need to keep some veterans like Dudley in the locker room, Christian. Forget the locker room part. I want veterans that play the game. 0 wins in February. Yes, 100%. It'd be the first winless month outside of October in franchise history. Sign LeBron. I would take LeBron. Dudley's not retiring. Why would he leave that $12 million? What does he make it? 10 or 12? $10 million, I think. Why would he leave that on the, no, he's not going to retire. He'll be like, trade me then if you don't want me here. And he accepted. He understands what's going on. Do you want the Suns to win tomorrow so we don't? No, lose. Just lose. Just lose. I mean, those records are meaningless. They went 0 in February. Well, once they went, 100% in December. So, big deal. Yeah, just lose. Go ahead and just lose it. Just lose out. I mean, 30-game losing streak would just be hell. Absolutely hell. They're not going to go 0 for 30, but, it's just, nobody cares. Nobody next year will care that the Suns went 0 in February if they draft DeAndre Ayton, if they sign Aaron Gordon, and if they get Tyreek Evans, and all of a sudden this team is winning 50 games. In fact, the more you lose, the greater your turnaround record will be, the bigger star you become. So, I mean, it's just like, so nobody nationally is talking about the Suns right now just because they're losing. They would be talking about the Suns if they're losing if they hit 20-game losing streak. But, you know, all they need to do is land that best pick. And at this point, you know, it's just, what else are you going to do? Shaking my head, let's just make losing a habit. It won't be a habit. Those are big ifs. It won't. No, I know, obviously. I'm projecting my dreams upon reality, you know, and I'm just hoping that it sticks. But, just lose. Okay, so here's the thing. Do I want the Suns to be competitive? Yes. Do I prefer to tweet hashtag Suns win, exclamation point 3 times in with the score than just, you know, the losing score? Yeah, of course, I really do. I would much rather do that. But I want to do that 55 times next year and not 23. I agree. You get 8 and the Suns are in the playoffs. I really need Atlanta to win a couple of games so we can have that pick. Man, if we win our next game, lies. What am I lying about? Bledsoe screwed us. I don't know. They got cap space out of it and a tradable asset in the first-round pick. Speaking to its existence, LeVar Ball style, yeah, possibly. Contender by the end of this rookie contract with the tweet. All right, so some of that was kind of jumbled, it looks like. But, all right, so I want the Suns to lose to Memphis. I want the Suns to lose to Atlanta. If they can steal a win against OKC, it'd be their second in the year. It'd be cool, and it doesn't hurt them in a head-to-head in terms of the reverse standings. I definitely... Now, here's the other thing. Miami is coming up next Monday. So, who do you want to win? If the Suns lose that game, that Miami pick gets a little bit worse, but their own pick maybe gets a little bit better. So, I mean... So you kind of hope that Miami loses out but beats the Suns. Not a lot, but, you know, it's just still... You got Miami that one more time. Screw that, lose every game. Yeah, well, yes, the Celtics when they got KG and Ray. Oh, yeah, that's, you know what? I'm curious. What was their record the year before? Boston Celtics. All right. What year was that? 07? Won finals. Okay, so the year before KG and Ray, they went 24-58. They land KG and Ray Allen. They win the finals going 66-16. It's possible. You add DeAndre Ayton. You add, you know, Aaron Gordon. And I'm not saying it's possible to win 66 games with that team. And certainly not in the Western Conference. I'm not saying it's possible in the championship. But you could flip that over twice. Warriors went for 25-43 wins or something like that. They did. That was under Mark Jackson. Ideally, the Miami pick gets to 10th. That's what I'm hoping for, brother. A lot easier to trade and move up. Agreed. You also add LeBron and boom. I mean, yes, I would take LeBron, honestly. I really would. All right, so we got about 10 minutes left before overtime. Actually, I think it's a little bit about 7. So please heart, please like, please retweet, please share. Let everybody know. Valley of the Suns is going till 7 o'clock plus a little OT. I love doing rapid fire. So yeah, I mean, that would be very, very, very possible for the Suns to... I'm telling you, they could win 55 games next year. Yes, lose Bucks, lose. They could win 55 games next year if they play if they get the right hand. I was going to say play the cards right, but get the right hand. Jason Terry's an assistant coach. I don't care who's assistant coach is. They can make me an assistant coach, and I don't think it... I mean, I could do whatever. Milwaukee is losing by 15. Let's keep it up, baby. So right now, and Miami's winning. Come on, Philly. Okay, so Chicago is losing. We need Chicago to win. They're down by 13. That they're going to lose. Brooklyn and Cleveland, close game. Truthfully, we need Brooklyn to win. I mean, they're not that close. They're what would that be? 2.5 games behind the Suns, 23 wins. All right, hit me on the Suns fan origin story. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, they would have to go 0 for the rest of the year. So, just very briefly, my Suns fan origin story. Back in when the summer the Barclays trade was summer of '92. I was 9 years old. I had an aunt, or was I 8? It was 92, 83. Yeah, I was 8 years old actually that summer. I had an aunt that worked for the Suns. I do trust Ryan McDonough to make the right moves. I had an aunt that worked for the Suns at that time and had in the Coliseum and moved the franchise to the arena. And at the arena, she was able to always get tickets apparently, but it was that year after they got Barkley that she was able to get that they started bringing me, that her and my aunt and my dad started bringing me to the Bucks want Bledsoe so they can win games. LOL. Yes, I agree. I literally just said LOL out loud. Hilarious. So they bring me to my first game, which was December 26th, 1992. I believe it's the 26th, against the Denver Nuggets. My first ever basketball game. I never watched the Suns on TV. I had never watched the Suns. As a little kid, I liked baseball more because I had not been introduced to God's game. So we go to that game, and the Suns win over the Denver Nuggets, 129-88. So I'm like, holy crap, this is fun. And I was immediately hooked. There's an old story that about like a month later, or maybe within a year, I was supposed to be in bed. I was, after 9 o'clock, and I had a little radio and I had it on. I was listening to the Suns play the Pacers. And my dad comes to the room. It's like, Adam, are you awake? And I'm like, the quote goes, I went, shh, the Suns are winning. So by that point, it was either 9 or 10. So it was between 8 and 9, 9 or 10. Dikembe was playing. Hell, I can even pull up the stats real quick. It'll only take me a moment. I wish so much I had those tickets. And there was somebody else watching this that, when I told this story a few months ago, that was their very first game too. It was December 27th. Actually, I said 26th. It was December 27th, 1992. It was the Barkley year. Give me 1 second. Allergies. And that also was their very first game. All right, so schedule results. Dope. Yeah, I forget who it was. I wish I remembered. I hope they're watching. Okay, December 27th, 129-88. Box score. Dikembe Mutombo. 10 points, 10 boards, 5 blocks, 5 personal fouls in 26 minutes. Their leading scorer was Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, Mark Macon, and Todd Leachy each scored 12. Those are their leading scorers. They had 6 guys scoring double figures, but it was 3 with 12, 1 with 11, 2 with 10, including Dikembe. For the Suns, Barkley, 21 points, 9 boards, 2 assists, 0 personal fouls. He only played 25 minutes because it was such a blowout. Richard Dumas scored 27 points, got 4 steals. KJ off the bench. I believe that was his first game back. Did he stand for the anthem? You're damn right he did. KJ off the bench, 12 points, 12 assists. That's a great way to blow a team out. Just put KJ against the reserves. Sabalo, 16 points, 12 boards. Marley, 12 points. Yeah, and here's the other thing. The Suns were combined 3 for 9 from 3. The Nuggets were 0 for 2. 0 for 2. Dwayne Devin off the bench. Yes, I would be okay with that. I used to have an Abdul poster. I was given it. That's cool. Abdul-Rauf, doubt it. I thought you know what? I thought you meant Richard Dumas, because I just said Dumas. I looked over. Yeah, he might not have. You're right. I don't know about that. He might not. I don't recall. And I have searched. That game was not broadcast on TV in either Phoenix or Denver. I actually collect old games. I find them streaming and then I rip them. And I have looked for that game because that was my first ever game. I've looked for that game online. I don't believe it exists because I don't believe there was ever a television broadcast. So if anybody knows how to find something like that, find a non-televised broadcast. I mean, I suppose you'd have to go through the Suns, but or the Nuggets, or actually, probably you. Well, no, it would have to go through the Suns because they were the home team. Favorite player of all time is Danny Ainge, and I'm not even kidding you. I loved Danny Ainge when I was a kid. My mom made me that year, '94, Halloween of '94. My mom made me a Danny Ainge home white uni. I tweeted that last Halloween too. So if you go back on Valley of the Suns, you can see it. All right, so we were at 1 hour. So please heart, please like, please retweet. Let's go at least single overtime, but I think we can push double overtime. We still got over 20 people here watching. We're bumping up, and I love it. So let's rapid fire. Start shooting some questions. Anything you want to know from me? Do you like him? Because I'm not Mormon. I'm Catholic. I don't really care that he's Mormon. He's cool with me. He was just a fun player. The Miami Heat and Philadelphia 76ers are tied in the third quarter. Oh, there we go. Somebody just hit a 3 for the 76ers. The Bucks are now down 17 in the second quarter. Keep it up, Washington. Sacramento plays later. We need them to beat Portland. They won't. And then you kind of fit the model. What do you mean I fit the model as a good Catholic? Is that what you're talking about? Lewis, Miami, Lewis. Oh, I'm telling you. It's looking good right now. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I'm sorry. No, they just hit a 3, so back-to-back threes. I was thinking Milwaukee when I said that. Yeah, because I'm a white boy in Phoenix. Right? That's all it is. I'm not East Valley, though. Again, not that I really don't care, but just saying. What else you got? Any rapid fire? Talk anything. Well, hopefully anything Suns. If you want to talk religion, I'll give some points, but I don't know if you care. What will our final record be? Let me see. Where's their schedule? All right, so I'm thinking I'll go 1, 2, potentially 3, 4. I'll go 6 more wins the rest of the way. And so right now they're 18, so I'll say 24. I'll say 24 wins. 16. Boy, man, I think you guys are not East Valley. Hey, you know it. I'll say 6 more wins the rest of the way. 24. Yep, 24 and 58. That's what I'm thinking. I think 19 and 62. First off, that's not enough games, so it'd be 19 and 63. If you were the coach, what would you have the young players work on? Oh, that's a great question. Okay, and actually, that's a post to do every year, but I'll just say it right now. Presuming they're all back, what do you predict our roster will look like? Oh, man. And what will our record be next year? 6,319 wins and 63 losses. The greatest team of all time. Okay, well, hold on. I'll do the summer thing I'll predict next year. So the summer thing, Bender, I want strength. I want post-game. I think his three-point shot is coming along just fine. Rock and roll. What is he averaging right now from 3? He's still averaging 37.3. Give me that every year of your career, and you're going to be just fine in my book. So give me some strength. Give me some attitude. Give me a post-game. Chris, if he's back, give me... I want him to join Valley of the Suns therapy every week. I want him to go a little home. I want him to just chill out and just use the less athleticism. Don't ever take a shot outside of under the basket. What's up, Mr. Rich? You made it. So Marquise Chris, I don't want him to ever shoot anything outside of 3 feet. Everything should be put back. You know, you get the ball at the 3-point line, pass that ished. I don't want to see him take a shot. So that's what I want is just focus on defense. He's so freakishly athletic. Be like Mary, let the game come to you instead of, he tries. Now, granted, he might be told, go hang out behind the arc, but what is he shooting from 3? That'll only take me a second. Marquise. Chris. So, Josh Jackson, just keep working on your game. Only thing Chris needs to do is stop getting teased, shake my head. Oh, well, he needs more than that, but absolutely. He needs to seek some therapy. Yeah, Chris is shooting 29.6 from 3. He only shot 32.1 last year, so just stop shooting 3s. You're no good. I want Josh Jackson to really work on his 3. I want Jackson to get that 3-point shot coming. I think everything else is just going to come naturally to him. He's just a slasher. He's long and lanky. He's going to make plays. So if that Course Australia released NBA teams with their beer cans, don't feel that's BS. But if one comes out, send me a picture. I'll retweet that. That'd be fun. So, Josh Jackson, just work on that 3-point game. Let me see. Do I have his stats still up? Here we go. He's currently shooting 26.2. I still trust that his 3-point shot will be better than Chris's. Jackson's no fear. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't forget next year's roster. Keep that coming, but I will. Repeat it again in like 2 minutes. Who else you want to see? So, Ulis, I want him to grow 6 inches. Not really. What ward are you in? What do you mean? I'm in Glendale. Ulis, I just don't want back. Judge needs to work on his free throws too. Yes, he's shooting 61.4. Yes, it's just I've been working on his shooting. I think everything else just comes naturally to him. He's a slasher. He's a decent enough shooter from within the arc. So in fact, shooting just 2-point field goals. He's shooting 40.7 from the field, but that includes his threes. His 2-point field goals are 45.8. So it's like, okay, I'll take that. I think that can be improved a little bit, but I doubt he'll ever be a 50% shooter. FASFA? FAFSA? You're talking about college loans? Oh, that's FAFSA. So there you go. Ulis, I think they just need to cut. What do you think the NCAA recruitment scandal? Oh, blow up the NCAA. Seriously, blow up, rebuild it within their ashes. Give me a Phoenix. D Book, I also want him to continue to work on his post-up game. And then some defense, work on his defense, but work offensively, work on his post-up game. Keep that coming. It's looking strong, but make it, stronger. I could see him, being a Michael Jordan type in that sense. I'm not going to say it's Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan had a great post-up game. If Devin Booker has a post-up game that's just like unguardable, he'll be unguardable. He can already shoot from 40 feet out. If he can post somebody up, shoot from 15 every time, get that fadeaway going at 6'7", nobody's going to be able to stop him. Also book out a bit of muscle for the D. Yeah, but he's definitely looking bigger. And again, he's 21. Kobe, yeah, oh yeah. Well, Jordan was a better, especially in his later years. Jordan was a better post player. Does every team hit the bottom of the rim as often as we do? Holy crap, man! They just could not shoot a 3 last night either. Let me pull up that box score. They missed so many threes. Last night, 7 of 24. Yeah, it was just, even Book was 3 of 10. All right, so the question of what's the roster like next year, it depends on who they draft. I think okay, part of it obviously depends on, what about Len? He's gone, so I want him to improve by, you too, brother. I'm going to go double overtime. We're in double overtime right now. We'll go another 4 minutes. So Len, I just want him to improve somewhere else. Just don't beat the Suns. Go improve in the Eastern Conference and never get out of the finals, or get into the finals. But Elfrid Payton, I'd like him to work on his shot, cut his hair. As a bunch of things know Leonard it was because he was sweating too much through his suit. The damn fool. It's about everybody. TJ Warren used to work on his outside shot too. My own personal prediction, 24 wins. March and Gortat reunion. I don't want March and Gortat here. Oh, go to Washington. Yeah, go ahead. What do you think the team is having a problem with assist ball movement? Because they don't have enough scores. They don't yet. They don't have enough confidence scores. They certainly don't. Imagine if TJ Warren and Josh Jackson could hit threes, and Marquise Chris at 35%, clip. They wouldn't have any problem with assists because those guys would be nailing those shots. But instead, they'll have to move, and they're just not good enough yet offensively. So my personal protection, I'm hoping for DeAndre Ayton. I want DeAndre Ayton. Yeah, I know. That's what I want. Don't they realize it's hot in Phoenix? I'd be sweating too. Well, today it's not hot. We were raining. It's in the 60s right now. We've been in the 40s at nights, Fahrenheit. So my personal hope is that they are able to draft DeAndre Ayton. Ayton would be he'd be a godsend. He would be the franchise center the franchise has never had. So I definitely want Ayton. If they get Doncic, then they really have to go throw the bank at either Clint Capella or Aaron Gordon. But the thing is that I would still throw the bank at Clint Capella or Aaron Gordon, depending on who they want. I would prefer Aaron Gordon. Yeah, but you're freezing cold, man. I would personally prefer Aaron Gordon for his offense over Capella, but and I would do it next to, put him next to DeAndre Ayton. I think the Suns could offer. Is that 10? It's so hard because it's small. Is that 10 million for the first round pick? 40s at night. Pittsburgh in the negatives. Holy shnikes. Is he from Arizona or is he just plays there? Ayton played, well, he went to high school here, but then he also played high school in California. That was an arbitrary direction because from my perspective, California is actually that way. But so he I don't know if he was born here. I think he was like raised here or something. Let me just see. DeAndre Ayton. We're gonna go about 1 more minute. He's Bahamian, so he was born in the Bahamas. Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure that he was born in the Bahamas when they called him Bahamian. I was supposed to be born in the United States, but your parents are Bahamian then. What about Mo Bamba? I just think he's too much of a prospect. I'd rather a guy that's... I certainly wouldn't take Mo Bamba over Ayton. Give me Ayton first because he's going to be the kind of guy that's going to come in and be able to make an impact right away. Mo Bamba might be very good, but 2 or 3 years. Marvin Bagley's from Tempe, and I don't want him because he's a power forward. It forces you to trade Marquise Chris. I want the Suns to be able to trade Marquise Chris out of a position of strength. Do you think the players would ever be in on rankings, on tanking? I think they already are. I think Booker is. I'm sticking around till it's over, but another great stream. Oh, you are the man. Well, hey, we're only going about 1 more minute. So you won't have to stay up too late. But what is it, Pennsylvania 9? So, or 9/11? Why? Because he sucks. He's not going to play backup center. You know, it's just he's a power forward. I don't want Bender playing center either. I want Bender to play a .4. So, anyway, I think we're just about done here. We went to double overtime. I did that for you, Mr. Rich. For everybody else watching on the replay, and for everybody else is here, where's Leonard, as in Kawhi? Where's Kawhi Leonard from? Kawhi Leonard is from California. Was born in L.A. Playoffs, 100% play. If the Phoenix Suns get DeAndre Ayton, they are borderline playoff team with no player improvement. If they get DeAndre Ayton and players improve, they're in the playoffs. You add Aaron Gordon, you get even better. You find a way to add one more player, I bet. Like I said, this team can turn it around. If you are able to re-sign Elfrid Payton, you sign Tyreke Evans, you sign Aaron Gordon. That would be very difficult, but at least Tyreke is an unrestricted free agent. Aaron Gordon, you can still pull it off, and you trade Marquese Chriss, boom. And you're able to draft Ayton. Now, granted, that is like pie in the sky. Literally everything fell into place. I'm telling you, this team is a 55-win team next year, and I'm going to make this my last point because I see a bunch of guys are signing off, but I do appreciate you hanging out. Kid as coach, nope, I don't want him. I'd rather Jay Triano. So I want the 2016-17 NBA standings. 55 wins. I'm not exaggerating. I think they could be. 55 wins makes them the third team in last year's playoffs. I don't like Triano press conferences in LA. It's a little bitter. How can you blame him? Good show. Thank you very much. All right, so I am out of here. It's been fantastic. We went to double overtime. I do this for you. I love you all. I absolutely look forward to this every week. Thank you, sir. Go Suns. They're going to get some wins. I'm predicting 6 wins. I think they win 24 games, which probably places them third in the lottery, which means they've just got to win that damn thing. They've just got to get the ping pong balls in the right place. So thank you all. Next week, let me triple check. I believe we're next week back on. Yeah, because I think this. Or wait. Okay, hold on. While I'm here, just because I need to know for my own sake. Next week. Allergies. Next week's schedule. They play Monday. Where are you, mouse? It's Monday the 5th at 5:30. So yeah, no show next Monday. The show is next Tuesday. I will retweet that tonight. Next week's show is Tuesday because Suns play at 5:30. So I ain't never going to compete against the Suns. So that kind of sucks. They're in Miami. So that's going to be a fun game to watch, though. Definitely going to be a fun game. So, all right. I love you all. I will see you 1 week from today. It's going to be a Tuesday night edition of Valley of the Suns Live because the Suns are playing the Miami Heat in Miami at 5:30 p.m. Monday night. I love you all. I will see you guys in a week. Let's go Suns. Peace.